Hello casters! Today I'm bringing you my top 32 deck from the KISSIMMEE Open. Over there I piloted Dionysus and just the deck worked out very well. We'll go through the deck profile, talk about some of the things that I seen that worked and some things that I think we should have changed. But let's get right into it. First off is 3 copies of Cyprong. Cyprong having the ability to search for your Dionysus, and being able to target and destroy a 1 or 2 spirit cost Elestral with 5 or more attack. So long as it's dazed, Cyprong becomes our main removal to help break our opponent's board. It's consistent, and being a 4/4, it's sometimes hard for the opponent to beat over it. Next up we have our 3 Viscerus, with 1 being Firestorm Edition. This is standard, it's a 5 beater, and can cast out another Visc when it destroys an opponent's Elestral in battle. Visc actually came up a lot, being able to help take advantage of board and overwhelm opponent with numbers. In the games I had all 3 Viscs on board, opponents were not able to overcome the 7 attacker. Next we play 3 copies of Sprouter, Champion of Dionysus. Opening Sprouter has to be one of the best feelings, with it being just as annoying as a Astrabbit. Opening Sprouter and just being able to Nexus off your Dionysus, you can search your deck for either a Champion of Dionysus or a Dionysus Madness. This making it so if your hand is all Elestrals and a Dionysus, you search Madness, you have a consistent back row. If you open all back row, a Sprouter and Dionysus, then you search a Elestral. Sprouter plus Dionysus just makes the perfect going first hand, letting you out-resource and take advantage of the game state. Next up is 2 Synectar. Synectar being able to search out either of our poison tipped arrows makes it a great secondary starter, along with being a potential board breaker. Next we play 1 Equalinks. Equalinks did not come up much, but against the Thunderstorm deck, I was able to destroy their stadium and take full advantage. So the moment it did come up, it was extremely helpful. Next, our star in the deck, 3 copies of Drataya, Champion of Dionysus. Drataya, when receiving 1 Earth, you can target and daze an Elestral until your next turn. As cool as that effect is, it's the second one that matters. You can special send this Drataya to Lotagon from hand or deck if enraged, then enrage that Lotagon until the next turn. Drataya, being able to go into our Lotagon, which is run at 2 copies, is then able to target and destroy a face down rune. Since it comes out enraged, Lotagon helped apply pressure, especially in the solar matchup. Being able to pop cards like Guardian's Light or Shield of Achilles made it an absolute menace, especially with 8 attack. And upon destruction, you're able to search your deck for an Ambrosia. So not only do you destroy back row, have a heavy beater on field, you also get to deck thin and heal. Lotagon just gives so much advantage, it's amazing. Now for our last 2 cards, we have Centaur, Champion of Dionysus, and Timber, Champion of Dionysus. Just getting Centaur on board alone, it can daze itself in order to special cast into a Timber from hand, deck, or underworld. And Timber on cast, or when it receives 1 or more Earth, you can target an opponent's Elestral and enrage it. That comboing with Centaurs at the beginning of battle phase, you can destroy each of your opponent's enraged Elestrals. These 2 become a significant threat to your opponent, especially if it's later in the game. Let's say, for example, you manage to have a turn where Sprouter is still on board, you have not used your normal cast yet, and you have a Dionysus with 2 spirits under it. You can easily Nexus 1 to your Sprouter, search your deck for a Centaur, add it to hand, ascend over, daze it, out comes Timber effect, enrage an opponent's Celestial, use 1 more off of Dionysus, enrage your Centaur so it can attack. Battle phase, you destroy your opponent's Celestial, and you're attacking with 5 spirits right here. If your opponent has no more Elestrals on board, that's already 25% of their spirit deck. So wherever you do not sleep on Centaur. It's one of the last things you want to do. On to our runes, we're playing 3 Dionysus Madness. Madness is probably the best counter rune to come out of Lightstream, probably right next to Rise from the Shadows. Being able to daze or enrage any Elestral, along with if Dionysus is enchanted, you can change that Elestral's position and re-enchant 1 to your Dionysus from Underworld. The card's just generically good in almost any deck, so long as you could fit Earth into it. It's like new, better Tsunami. Next we play 2 copies of Dionysus. I didn't feel like we need a 3rd, Dionysus being searchable, and opponents not really playing cards that destroy face-up runes, other than Thunderstorm deck. Being able to play carefully mattered, Dionysus having the effect that you can disenchant one to enrage or daze an Elestral. Dionysus is definitely the bread and butter when it comes to starting off a lot of the combos in the deck, but Opening Madness or Thrysis of Dionysus can also get the job done, but Dionysus just does it better. Speaking of Thrysis, we play 2. Thrysis just being able to add to your hand, enraging an Elestral and giving it +2 attack. This card is a threat to many. Being able to help outdraw your opponent mattered a lot, especially in games where it felt like it was just ban for ban. On to our generic counter-ins. We're playing 2 Pandora's Box in the main. Pandora's Box came up a lot, especially since it felt like every deck was searching. Even Solar, despite them mainly foretelling, you can always Pandora's Box their Glimbat or Plucky. Next we have 3 Shield of Achilles, 2 Poison Tipped Arrows, with one of them being Artemis Arrow. Artemis Arrow helped break opponents' boards, especially in the Locagon matchup, and Poison Tipped Arrow is just generically a good card when it comes to decks that can't out it or dodge it. Next we have 3 Gorgon's Gaze. I'll never see this card not be in every deck at 3, except for that one random person. If you're the one who decided to play 2 Gorgon's Gaze in your deck, please leave the comment down below, I'm curious. Next we have 3 Ambrosia. Ambro's great, especially since we just search it out through the deck. Getting triple Ambrosia on your opponent is kind of hilarious. And then last card is Earthquake, because we're on Earth, of course we'd play Earthquake, right? Only out to Celestlio at this point. Next, onto our side deck, we're playing 1 Side Nectar, 2 PTAs, and a Poison Nectar Dionysus Chalice. This is mainly for if we know we are going first after game 1 or 2. Opening Side Nectar plus Dionysus makes it so we could end up with 2 PTAs, or a PTA and a Poison Nectar. Poison Nectar is here as a one-of because it is searchable, and being able to force your opponent to discard a card and expend 2 is pretty helpful. We're playing the 1 Pandora's Box on the side because just in case we end up needing the extra copy in main. We are playing 3 copies of Spoiled Fruit. I mostly expected Spoiled Fruit to be useful against Locagon and maybe Solar, but seems like Solar players have stopped playing Kothmol. But surprisingly enough, Spoiled Fruit is helpful against the Thunderstorm players. Speaking of Thunderstorm, we're playing 3 copies of that in the side deck. This is definitely a format where people are being dependent on either their stadiums or their gods. Thunderstorming a full stack Dionysus or a Aphrodite definitely hurts both decks. And against Solar or Thunderstorm, popping their stadium could hurt. We play 2 Folio Forests. This is mainly for the Thunderstorm matchup or the Solar matchup. And lastly, we are playing 2 Dense Fog, with everybody having activated effects on the field rather than on cast effects. Dense Fog's able to stop a Locagon turn, make a Ampharos turn crash, stop a Dionysus from using Cyberong or Jataya, stopping cards like Celestlio and Corvishine from foretelling, and stopping Funglo from being able to be useful. On to our Spirit deck, we are playing 16 Earth, 2 Lunar, and 2 Thunder. Thank you, Perky, for the signature. Reason why we're playing 2 and 2 in the Spirit deck is so we don't have to take up space within the side deck. Our main really will only use 1 Aloon, while the other 3 spirits are just there for fodder. Use it when you use a shield, Gorgon's Gaze. If you're mulliganing and want to confuse your opponent, make them think you're playing Thunderstorm. One thing that could probably change for this deck is finding a out for Celestlio. Unfortunately, a 3 body with 13 attack, our current list does not have a way to out it besides, of course, Earthquake or PTA. One thought would be playing the old version of the Lotagon within the side deck, being able to ascend into it through Drataya, and possibly having a Ambrosia at that point. It could be a successful way to out the Celestlio. My record at Kissimmee was 6-2. I played my hardest. My loss of the day was round 1 against a Celestial player. Lost game 1 because I just wasn't ready yet for the matchup. Due to the lack of training against Solar, I was not entirely sure what I was up against, but playing through the first game, I saw if you pace well, Dionysus answers it very easily. So game 2, I decided to side in my Poison Nectar, along with the Side Nectar and extra Poison Tipped Arrow, and this ended up biting me. Being able to cast Side Nectar, search for the Poison Nectar, along with playing a Dionysus, dazing my Side Nectar in order to search for a PTA. I did not search Generic Arrow. Instead, I decided to search for Artemis Arrow, which that probably was a misplay on my part. I ended up setting a shield and passing. On opponent's draw, I activated Poison Nectar, and they discarded a Celestlio, drew for turn, and proceeded to play Rise from the Ashes, getting Celestlio out on board, and then casting a Corvishine, foretelling cards, and completely blowing up my board. What I thought would be my advantage ended up being my downfall. From then on, I proceeded to win every game, playing against Lunar Control, Lakagon, Krakatuga, Thunderstorm, the Mirror Match, and another solar deck. In round 8, I got to play against Bo, was very nervous and excited to meet him, but Bo got to traumatize me with the fish. Let's just say I won't be going towards any open bodies of water for a bit. The swarm of Apheroses on board, along with the draw power from the Nexus, I was not able to keep up. But after the 8 rounds, my score was X and 2, but unfortunately my opponent win percentage was down in the gutters. My round 1 opponent ended up going 3 and 5, which that hurt me tremendously. But getting 23rd place, I felt happy, especially getting one of the sundials. I'm happy because I was able to get my sundial line signed by the lobster girl herself, Sanseli, and that definitely made it feel worth it. That and growing my collection of these awesome little collectibles, along with getting Cray Crash to sign Demeter and MBT signing Schnark. I unfortunately did not get to fight Bean Soldier nor Shady Penguin, but I did get to play Neil. Oh, that's it for this deck profile video. This is my first attempt at trying to do a in-depth deck profile. If you guys end up liking this, please let me know and I'll do more of these in the future. If not, I'll go back to just doing quick deck profiles. I would love to know which one you guys prefer. Oh, thanks for watching and good luck in the next webcam event. See you in Worlds.